Hey, 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 welcome back to another RSG Lunch Stream. I'm Ranger J 1999. Glad to have you guys all here. Welcome to the program. If you're wondering what the lunch stream is, that's where we hang out with you wonderful folks for the next hour or so and try to bring you some fun and entertainment as we go through the doldrums of the work day. I brought along some people to hang out with us, so let's introduce them. First, before I do that, let's just a reminder, if you haven't already, hit the thumbs up on the video. It helps us get our videos out there in the YouTube world. If you like what you see and you haven't subscribed already, what are you waiting for? Subscribing lets you know when we are streaming. We stream live a lot, so if you want to know when we're streaming and doing all the fun stuff that we're doing, hit the subscribe button. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. Also, if you haven't checked out our Patreon, please do. Patreon helps support us and put out the content that you guys like seeing. And of course, there's our GoFundMe for our half marathon run that we're doing here in April. That being said, if you have questions, go ahead and put those in there. Make sure you put the word question in front of your statement. It just helps us with being able to scoop that up, and then we can get that to you. Get that to us, and then we can read that to you. All right, so let's introduce everybody. We've got first welcoming back the soulless one, Stanley's Red's here today.
Hey, good to be back. Had a really stressful week with all the homework and all that, but I'm just glad it's over and I'm back.
Mm-hmm. You just didn't want to hang out with us, Stanley. Just admit it.
Okay, I admit it.
See,
I was just kidding.
Honesty will set you free. Also joining us is the troll extraordinaire, Dr. Finn Medicine Woman.
I have this feeling that I haven't felt in a long time, like my soul was suddenly being sucked out of me.
A million voices cried out. I understand.
I feel like there's a presence I have not felt in many a time.
Since
last week.
Yes. You should not have come back, old man. Now I am the master. Also joining us, of course, we've got Xylo Takedown, who hasn't been here in a while. Xylo.
Hey, what's up, guys? Got bonus energy.
How's my apprentice?
Oh, he's teething, man, like crazy. But he's doing great.
First teething, this force lightning. It's a progression.
The better to bite you with, my dear?
No, that's not quite how that works, Dr. Finn. You're a very bad man. We are not vampires here. So, if there are any vampires out there, send Dr. Finn a message. I'm sure he'd like to hook up with you. Also join us is Grim the Mechanic.
I feel a disturbance in the pork.
That would be Finn doing some weird crap with teeth. And then finally, last but not least, we've got Mr. Who is with us, and we are doing his roster review today. Welcome, Mr. Who.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Who's here?
Shut up. Don't even start that crap, Finn. I am not in the mood. I have no coffee today, and I am not in the mood. So, we're not doing any Abbott and Costello skit. We're not doing any of that stuff. We're not doing any Doctor Who jokes. We're not doing any of that garbage, so stop it.
You mean who's not on first?
That's not how... Everyone say goodbye to Graham. I might disconnect him. All right, so we are going to be doing his roster review today. So what are you looking for us to look at? Well, first let's give a shout out to your guild, Feral Rancors. I didn't know Rancors were not feral, but hey, you learn something new every day. What can we look at?
Well, in Galaxies, they were tameable.
Yeah, that's true. They were still
you
feral.
You could ride them in Galaxies.
I know, right? Remember
it was
that?
Awesome.
That's right.
And in the olden days, the Rancor was the pet of Cthulhu.
I'm just
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Finn, you should not interject anything. So what are we looking at first, my friend?
One thing is my arena. I'm having a hard time breaking the top 50.
I can see that.
Part of that is family time breaks into it, but...
Well, sure.
I'm hitting a Treya, a Bastila, and Emperor Palpatine wall.
Yeah. Well... Let's ask first, where are you at with Treya? Where's your guild? Are you farming Heroic Sith?
We are on farm. I'm like 60-some shards. 60 to 80 shards, however, so far.
So we're a ways away.
Yeah.
So you want to start saving up for Treya.
What's your nest at?
Who's that? I don't have
Nest.
No nest.
No.
Oh,
Well, let's look at his mods and see what we can do here. Well, let's just go through each of your characters here and see what we got from mods. All right, Palpatine 219, good. Sets match, which I like to see. Let's see here. So Palpatine's fine. Let's look at your Thrawn. That's going to be a key thing here. Thrawn, I want to see what your speed is. We got to get Thrawn faster.
I don't feel like your mods are optimized.
Yeah, I think I'm getting that sense here. Thrawn's only 241 speed. We got to get him at least above 260. Let's look.
I think you have too much speed on Palpatine. Palpatine has 121 speed. I think you have your speed on the wrong characters.
Well,
Vader's
he's
fine.
got
Vader's
all his
249,
good speed mods spread out all over the place.
So
Like there's a 22 speed set triangle on your first order executioner.
There may be a reason, so let me ask. Are a lot of these mods on the wrong characters because you've been slicing them up recently? Like, when was the last time you remodded?
I went through all my arena squad and sliced them all up, and I have not remodded since then. So that might be part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think part of it is that you sliced up, a lot of your mods improved, and then as a result of that, they're a little bit scattered. So if you're having difficulty, so that's always kind of the cutoff point. Whenever you start having difficulty in arena, remodding is a good thing after a bunch of slicing. If you're fine in arena, then you can kind of put off the remodding after slicing, right? Because you're still doing okay. But once you start getting that little bit of resistance on your climb, I think you're probably due in order to remod your arena team a little bit based on all your newly sliced mods.
Okay.
But it looks like, at least, and correct me if I'm wrong here, it looks like you know how to optimize your speed. Like, most of your mods are on the right character. They're just a little disorganized.
I have to admit, the new mod 2.0 that they did with all of it in app, it has helped a lot.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I thought it was a pain before to
it was.
Have to use a computer and everything, but yeah. So.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you had to have two devices. You're looking at GG, you're looking at your phone, you're like, okay, let me go here, and I'm going cross-eyed. So we have to do a little bit of more remodding. The goal you want, your Vader's fine. We got to get your Thrawn above 260. Anything else on your other characters, 200 range is fine with Nihilus, Scion, Palpatine, right? But yeah, Vader's fine. We just got to get Thrawn. He's only 241, and that's too slow. And you can get Thrawn. I've seen people get him up at over 300, and that's going to help you out tremendously on your climb, because if your Thrawn can go first, you can kind of dictate who's doing what, right? On your offense. You can either start off with a fracture depending on the team, or you can just speed up with like your Nihilus or your Scion and then rock and roll. But if he's way behind the power curve on his speed, then you're kind of at the dictates of RNG, and I think that'll be one thing that'll help you out. So for your arena team, we got to get some mods redone. But I think if you just take a few minutes, look at your speeds, and if you need help, just message one of us. We can help you, and we can get you rocking.
I think I can do that.
Yeah. But, do get your Thrawn rocking and rolling, and I think you'll be a little bit better. But I think until you get Treya, you're going to be fighting the good fight for a while. So that's your arena team. That's kind of the things that we're noticing on your arena team. What else do you want us to look at?
Ships. I'm trying to get into the next bracket for payout on there, and I've been getting into the top 200. I want to get into the 100.
Okay. Who are you running for your fleet? Let's start with that.
Off the bench is the TIE Advance, Biggs, and Silencer.
Okay, those.
What's your fleet capital ship?
Oh, Tarkin.
Tarkin. Okay.
Yep. And I've got him pretty well maxed out.
Yeah, I see that. And your starting lineup is TIE Advance, Silencer, and Biggs.
Yep.
Okay. And then what are your reinforcements?
Phantom 2, Ghost, Wedge, and Cassian. there's probably some work I can do there.
Well,
Yeah, because Ghost is one of those ships that doesn't really work well off the bench.
No.
It's a good
Unless you
starting
have
ship,
it
and then you have
completely,
Phantom, but
Yeah, it's got to be completely the reinforcement maxed out, right?
even then, Ghost isn't a very strong reinforcement ship. It's a really good starting ship especially when you bring Phantom off the bench. But Ghost is a lot better in starting lineup than he is in reinforcement. So
Not with the TIE Advanced Bigs combo, though.
not with that team, yeah. So with that team, I would probably avoid Ghost altogether.
Yeah.
I don't think
Let's
Ghost
ditch
is
Ghost.
serving your purpose with that team.
Yeah, my problem is that there's some other ships like Slave One I don't really have, and there's other ships like that I haven't been working on.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're
I've
kind
not
of using
even
it out of
seen
necessity because you don't have
I
other
don't
ships.
even
Correct.
see Slave One. Well, I'm sure we can come up with something a little bit better than that. Yeah, we need to be farming the hell out of Slave One and Scimitar. I'm not seeing that on your roster. Those two ships, you got to farm, buddy. They're really, really amazing ships, especially Slave One. Slave One as a reinforcement just can save your bacon more times than you can shake a stick at. Especially once you get his reinforcements done, he's really nice. Your starting lineup is fine. Why are you not using Chimera? I'm just curious.
I still don't have it to 7-star, so that's the main reason. Plus, the Chimera needs a little more work.
Okay. And someone's at
That's
the door.
me. Hold on, I'll be
Alright.
back.
Yeah, something up the Amazon wishlist.
Who's there?
I mean, Big silencer and a TIE Advance is fine. We just have to look at your reinforcements here. I may go no. I'm trying to think of what we can do here, my friends. Oh boy, oh boy. I mean, Kylo Ren's command shuttle is a good reinforcement. He's 5-star though.
So's Gauntlet, but yeah,
The pilot's Reaper's a good one. Now, if you want to go with Reaper as a reinforcement, you can. He can add protection and he can clear, taunts and stuff like that. I really like Reaper, especially if you're using a Tarkin capital ship as a reinforcement. So that could be one of your reinforcements, right? Imperial TIE Fighter, since you are using Tarkin, can be another one that comes off the bench. They start getting, because of Tarkin being your capital ship, they get all the goodies from that. Because we stick with that. Cassian's is a great ship to come off the sideline. Because he can come in, he can do a target lock, he can do all kinds of stuff that could help you with your lineup as well. So those 3 ships you could go off the bench.
Yeah, I just switched to him recently, and I've noticed a difference there.
Yeah, he's really
having him in
good.
the lineup.
Then you could stick with Phantom because Phantom's a good reinforcement ship. You could go Kylo because he can manipulate turn meter and stuff like that. But yeah, let's get rid of Ghost. Let's ditch Ghost. Let's stick with your starting lineup.
Did you guys talk about Sunfac already? Sorry, I just can't.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say his Sunfac is 7
We
stars.
could go with Sunfac.
That's a good one off the bench as well.
Yeah, so that could be your 4th one off the bench instead of command shuttle. So that way you've got some heavy hitters, and people that can support, and you've got another tank off your lineup that can come in and help you out. And Sunfac's really nice too because he can stun too.
Where do you typically see yourself losing? Like, does your bigs die too early? Is it that you can't get your Tarkin AoE off in time?
It's I never get to the AoE, Tarkin's AoE. So that's probably it. I just don't last long enough.
Maybe he.
Okay.
It's very rare I get to it.
He could go on Barin Biggs.
Plo Koon. I mean,
Plo Koon's only
even if Plo Koon isn't starred up, if you have his reinforcement,
No, his
You know,
his
that'll-
Plo
It's
Koon
not
is
even
really
close.
weak, so
It's only 53.
yeah.
and Gauntlet Starfighter heals as well off the bench.
So this isn't something I typically recommend, but it may be something you want to play around with a little bit. You're lacking ships with survivability, right? And your bigs needs a lot of target lock, so if your ships kind of die a little bit too early, then you're going to have issues. Your Slave One actually isn't as bad as I think you're saying. He's gear 9, your Boba Fett is gear 9, which is okay. and it's a 6-star Slave 1, you're really just getting Slave 1 in there for the additional target locks in order to keep your bigs up. And the same thing kind of with your Sunfac. Your Sunfac is there in order to kind of just provide some stuns so you prevent damage. Both of those are tanks.
Wait, where are you seeing the Slave 1?
He doesn't have a Slave 1.
Am I looking?
He doesn't have
Slave 1 yet.
Am I looking at the wrong one? I'm looking at the wrong one. God damn it!
That's why I said.
I thought he said his Slave 1 was low, and I had the wrong one pulled up. Of course, this is fail. This is fail on my part.
Start again, Dr.
He
Finn.
said he didn't have Slave 1. What the hell are you talking about?
Slave 1. Of course he didn't. All right, now I'm looking at the right one. You know, that would really, really help. Are you working on your Bosk? Houndstooth is another one you can bring off the bench. It's not typically a good one off the bench, but if you need some additional survival, Houndstooth is okay off the bench.
I'm not working on Bosk yet, but I'm almost basically at a transition from going from one team to another faction. So that's on my list of what I wanted to know, which direction I wanted to go next for which faction. So maybe it's bounty hunters, or maybe it's someone else.
Okay.
I'm saying, you're stick with your starting lineup. You could go on Baron, but with Biggs on Baron and Ty Advance, since you are running Tarkin, both those guys can target lock on Baron. On Baron's really beefy, right? Although you're not as beefy as I'm looking at this, he's still a pretty nice ship. It's your reinforcements, and I think TIE Reaper's one, Phantom could be one, Cassie could be one, and Sunfac could be one for you. Well, Silencer can come off the bench as well, so we could probably put... I like Silencer off the bench. He can do some stuff. Come in, stun somebody off the bat for you. Or
I might go with the one that you were mentioning before. I think it was for yesterday's Ranger, which is Silencer in the starting lineup.
Yep.
Because I think he needs the stuns in order to kind of keep his team going. Typically, I would say Imperial TIE is probably better, right? But I think Silencer may work better for you.
Yeah, now my lineup, I go with Biggs, Silencer, and Imperial TIE Fighter as my starting lineup, right?
I would probably go with TIE Advanced instead of Imperial TIE with his.
Yeah, I just like TIE Advanced coming off the bench, and I've got his reinforcement max, and when he comes in, Jesus, he starts knocking the snot out of people, and he does his debuffs and all that stuff. So, but yeah, let's get Cassian in. There's a reinforcement and TIE Reaper.
If we're looking at control, though, right? So we're trying to keep his team going.
Yeah, it's about survival, so you get that big AOE.
Right. I mean, if we do Biggs, TIE Advance, and TIE Silencer in the starting lineup, right? That would mean that he has some target locks with TIE Advanced. He'll have some control with Silencer.
Yeah.
That should hopefully keep his Biggs up. If his Biggs can survive, then we can bring in Phantom and then follow it up with either Sunfac or Umbaran. So I would say those would be his first 3 reinforcements.
Well, no, Cassian, because Cassian can come in and do another target lock and things of that nature. I think keeping Cassian...
You could do Cassian as well, so I think maybe that's your 4.
Yeah.
So Phantom would bring in a reinforcement early for you since you're not reaching the AoE stage. So getting another ship in early would help you gain that little bit of an advantage. So you start out with Phantom.
That's what I've been using them for.
Yeah.
Okay.
To get that next reinforcement in right away.
And with Tarkin, it works. With Chimera, I found that it kind of throws off the timing a little bit. So I don't like Phantom under Chimera. Not because it's not good, but because it screws up kind of the abilities that Chimera has. But if you're using Executrix, I would say try Biggs, TIE Advance, TIE Silencer, and then Phantom, Umbaran, Sunfac, and Cassian. And then you can play around with which one you need to bring into combat. If you need some control because their ships are kind of going too quickly, bring in Sunfac, because Sunfac can get you 2 stuns. If your Biggs is on the verge of dying and you just need to heal him up a little bit, bring in Umbaran, because he comes in and does a special target lock. You're done. If your Biggs is in good shape and you just need another target lock in order to increase survival, then you can bring in Cassian because he does more damage. So I think that lineup may provide you a little bit more versatility on offense. On defense, you're just going to have a hard time.
Yeah.
but I would focus more on the offense side and being able to rise than worry about your fall in ships, because the falls in ships are pretty common unless you're running geos or if you're running like a houndstooth and a little bit of a bounty hunter squad right now. Okay. So yeah, I would just focus on your offense, and you have the ships in order to do it. You just have to switch the ones that you're using.
That's
I'll play
science.
with it and see what I can do.
Mm-hmm. Now that I'm looking at the right roster, that it really helps.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that's ships. Look at your arena. What else would you like us to look at, my friend?
Who did I just finish? Basically, which faction to work on next?
Well, let's look at it. Which one are you working on right now?
I think I just finish off First Order.
Okay. Well, let's see how. Let's just look at your.
Are you talking about gearing, or are you talking about shard farming?
I'm taking it. Gearing. So gearing to level 9 or level 11.
Okay.
Well, let's look at
Enfys Nest.
Yeah. God.
I would say Night Sister.
Unfortunately, I don't have that. I don't have her area unlocked yet.
You don't need. She's viable at 3 stars, dude. 3 stars, gear 11. That'll get you top 50 in your arena with the EP team.
Night Sisters.
Yeah, let's look at his Night Sisters.
Work on your Night Sisters.
I almost have my Night Sisters.
Yeah, Night Sisters
fully,
would be next.
7 star.
Night Sisters is a team you can work on. Let's look at your bounty hunters. Night Sisters.
I haven't even been working on Bosk yet.
Yeah, let's start farming Bosk.
Yeah, without Bosk, I mean, bounty hunters are okay with the Boba lead. They're just not as good. So I would, you can work on your bounty hunters periodically. If I remember correctly, there are some pieces, obviously, but I think there isn't a huge number of overlap between the gearing of the bounty hunters you have left and the Night Sisters.
No, but individually they are just ridiculous.
Yes,
they are so ridiculous because Greedo, I see your Greedo and Dengar 9. Have fun!
Yeah.
That's 200 stun cuffs and 200 Corbantes right there. Have fun!
Not to mention the stun cuffs. Don't forget the stun cuffs.
Oh yeah, stun cuffs.
Another one is
have fun.
Even at 3 stars, Django Fett is amazing.
Yeah,
that plus 30 speed.
Yeah, I would wait till he becomes free to play, and then.
I wouldn't worry about Django. He's too squishy.
He's a great lead. Don't get me wrong. Farming him up it will be something I will work on. But Bosk, yeah, I would make him part of your dailies, your hard node farm, gearing and farming him because he's just amazing. And I don't know how did you do on your true event this time around? 5 stars, 6 stars.
5 star.
Okay.
I unlocked them.
Okay, good. So you got them unlocked.
Tries with my team, but I got them.
Yeah, I'm not even going to have you try to attempt 6 or 7.
Oh no, that's a joke. I let my wife try it, and she just laughed.
She's like, "What is this? What is this pain? You're bringing it to me." But yeah, let's farm and let's just stick with Boss. That's one of your hard node farms for the future. One, he just
okay. I'm almost done with Mother Towns, and as soon as she's done, I'll start on him.
Well, you can do. Well, you can do. So with the 50 refresh crystals, like for me every day I refresh 50, right? It's 150 crystals.
Yep.
That allows me to farm a ton of hard nodes, right? Right now,
yeah, I'm farming like 3 different characters right now.
Right, but let's see if we can get Bosk in there somehow, right? I just think the sooner you can farm him and gear him, the better it'll be for your bounty hunter team. It'll help you out in a lot of areas like dark side territory battles, right? Being able to run a Bosk and a bounty hunter team just makes it a cakewalk, right? And then in territory wars, bounty hunters are amazing on defense. They're a pain in the ass to fight. You better have the right team, or you're just feeding them turn meter and stuff. And the Zeta on Boss's lead is pretty awesome. So that's a possibility. So just think about that. So we know we got to finish Night Sisters. We got to start and think of this as a future investment, right? Chewie event's going to come back around, right? If you can have your 7-star boss ready to go on that next go around, then you can unlock 7-star Chewie. And that's the way you always want to look at it. You said you finished off First Order. Let me look at your First Order. All right, so we got the 2 Zetas on Kylo. Got the Zeta on First Order Stormtrooper. They're all Gear 11. That's fine. First Order Officers, Gear 11. Yeah, First Order looks fine. Let's see. Let's kind of look at stuff for Heroic Sith. How are you doing in Heroic Sith?
We are
You,
basically farming it.
not we. You. How are you?
I have a hard time just getting in there and getting and actually playing just because my schedule. Usually it's a lot of I get home and it's kid time when we're playing. So
no, that's all right. You don't have to explain yourself at all, my friend. Resistance looks fantastic. Good job on those guys. Probably want to take BB-8 to Gear 12. This helps you out. You already got Resistance Trooper to 12, so why not, right? And you've got the Zeta on him. That's fantastic. Zeta on Finn. I like that. So your Phase 1 team is fine. Let's look at your Jedi.
Jedi could use work.
Well, we got it. Hermit Yoda. So, I'm sorry, General Kenobi. I don't even see Hermit Yoda. Who are you farming, Hermit Yoda or Wampa out of the guild?
I just finished Wampa a couple weeks ago, so now I'm on to Hermit Yoda.
Keep focus fire on him. Don't buy gear. I know it's tempting.
I know, and it hurt seeing all that.
I know. Gear. I just did it myself. I got Wampa, and then I was like, it's such a freeing feeling, but while you're going through it, my friend, I understand.
I might have Yoda unlocked this week, depending on what we get in payout and territory wars.
Yeah, I mean, you do have a Gear 9 for 5-star Basil. That's really good. Are you farming?
I'm farming her right now.
Yeah. Are you farming KOTOR specifically?
Yes.
Okay, good. But yeah, if we can add Hermit Yoda, that's going to give you another dynamite team that you can use. So stick with that. That's really good. Let's see here. Let's look at some of your other teams just for... Look at your Imperial Troopers.
They're pretty good.
Yep, Gear 11, solid. Work on getting Magma. He's a great trade killer. At least Gear 11 for territory wars and stuff like that. Because you can go in against a trade with a Thrawn Magma, and as long as you're Magma... I got mine to Gear 12. It's not that bad, but it's not a priority, so slowly work on him. Empire in general looks really, really good. Yeah, really, really good. Maybe get Probe Droid a little bit higher. You can use him in a lot of different ways, and especially in territory wars. I mean, that's a killer.
I'll have him to 7-star next.
Death Trooper looks great. Your Troopers look great. Thrawn, Tarkin. Yeah.
Next territory war battle.
Yeah, they look good. Let's look at your Sith. I just want to study them real quick. Yeah, Sith look fine. You got the Zetas on, Nihilus, Scion, like it. So when you get Trey, you're going to be really, really good to go because a 5-star, you start saving up the gear for her, right? Slowly or surely, you're going to need some droid collars on that. You know, just check GG and see what she needs, and then because if you can run her 5-star 11, Gear 11 with the 2 Zetas, with the ones you have already, your whole outlook on Arena is going to change. You're going to drop less, you know. And the reason Grim was saying Nest, if you can get your Nest rocking and rolling, right? At least to Gear 11, you can throw Nest in there as another piece that you can use for offense or defense, right? And the team you could run would be, you know, Treya, the Triumphant. You could go Thrawn. You could go Nest. You know, there's a lot of different ways you can go. It just gives you a lot of flexibility. So just something to think about in the future. All right. So overall, I'm looking at your team. I think we need to finish Night Sisters. I think Finn's right on that. The other teams look pretty solid, other pieces here and there, but you've done a really good job. So really, let's keep those hard node farms and other farms going, right? Stick with the KOTOR. Keep on Hermit Yoda. Let's get in there and finish those Night Sisters. Let's get them the Zetas and the gear they need, right? You can work on those while you're doing your raids and things of that nature, so that you can, when you do unlock trade, you can go all in on her. So I think you're in a really good spot. I think overall you're doing the right things. looks solid. Let's finish up some of these other teams like Night Sisters down the line, and I think you'll be fine, buddy. I really do.
Thanks.
All right. Anything else you'd like us to look at, my friend?
The only other thing is I had 4 Zetas burning a hole in my pocket until Chewie came. I used 2 on him. Is there anyone you would suggest using them on? I know Treya will need them, but she's still a ways off.
Yeah, let's focus on Night Sisters. I didn't see which Zetas yet. I can't remember what Zetas you had on.
I don't think I've Zeted
How
any
far
of them.
till you unlock Treya?
He's 60 shards away, you said, right?
Yeah, I think I'm 60 or 70 or 80 shards, somewhere in there.
Yeah, we need to do... The 2 that you could do right off the bat is Asajj lead, Talzin unique, right? Those 2 will help you out tremendously. Then do Asajj's unique. And then down the line, if you want to, I like the lead, Mother Talzin lead, for certain situations, but it's, if you're going to stick with the Asajj lead, then it's not necessary. It's just really nice to have. Don't worry about old Daka. Just get her gear. Get Night Sister Zombie. You have to get her, unfortunately, to gear 10 now. So just work on finishing the stars. But yeah, let's go Asajj. You could go Asajj lead with Mother Talzin unique.
Boss lead. If he starts working on troopers,
you can go bounty hunters. You'll need one for boss.
Bounty hunters.
Okay.
But yeah, Plague Bearer is very underrated, and the only one that it doesn't really have any effect on is Treya, because they just wipe the hell out of it. It's like, oh, debuff gone. It's like, God. But any other team, and the reason I like Mother Talzin's lead, especially against like teams like Jedi things, there's just certain teams that ability helps with clearing, right? Because it's a very nice unique. But the main priority for your team is Asajj lead. That's your money right there.
Okay. Well, I can do that now.
Or you can go Bosk Imperial Troopers. Graham, you're fired. Those spots.
Sorry, I was looking at his bounty hunters on my screen, but I was sifting through my Imperial Troopers on my phone. So I was like, "Oh, you want to get Bosk?" But I was focusing on Imperial Troopers, so my brain, mixed them up.
Still better than me looking at the wrong roster.
Hey, wins all around today for the RSG crew.
Or buying the wrong pack.
Yeah, well, I think
when Ranger says we're brain damaged, he's brain damaged.
Yeah, I may be dumb, but I'm dumb. All right,
that's science.
That's science. Oh, damn it. All right, I think we've got you covered there, Who. So stick with that plan. Stick with what we mentioned. Make those changes that we recommended. Let us know how it goes, and if you have any questions about anything, and we'll get you squared away.
I just 7-starred Veteran Han. Okay. Finally, he's done.
Finally.
Damn it. That farm took way too freaking long.
Did it?
It did.
And now to do it with Veteran Chewie.
Gentlemen.
Did it now, Graham? I was just enjoying last night. Yeah, I was just enjoying Zabiff last night. Her squeals are just things of pure joy.
He is a very excited gamer. It's awesome.
Yeah, that dude, we picked the perfect game for that.
That game is really fun.
We're definitely going to be playing that one more.
There's obviously some bugs in it, but it's in a dev build mode and this early access, so it's understandable, but it's fun.
Yeah, it was. If you haven't watched it last night, Zabiff just, oh my God. All right.
That woman has too much energy, man.
It's amazing. I'm going to go do the bounty hunters on this event, see how it goes. It's not going so well there. All right, let's get to some questions, shall we?
Sure. Ski Trooper, question, Ranger, was it worth it to kill yourself for Thrawn? I just got 7-star Chewie on hour 6 and attempt 200 and something. Not sure if I should feel good for Chewie or sad for me.
You should feel great. And Thrawn too. When you get those legendary characters, they're amazing. and you put in all that hard work and the tears and the pain and the suffering and the anguish, and then when you get it, it's like you did something. You did something great. I think you should give yourself a pat on the back. And it took you 6 hours, yes, but you got them.
Mr. Pennypinch, question for the panel. So I spent another $50 to get Bosk to Gear 12 and Dengar to 7-star, and I got 7-star Chewie. That said, I'll be dead soon from wife. Will Ranger Infinity do my eulogy? Thanks.
Nope.
Moment of silence.
Nope, because I'm not having your wife cut us. Sorry. I mean, we love you, Mr. Pennypinch.
I mean, I can do it, but I don't think it'll be very...
You're not leaving that eulogy, Finn. What are you going to say? He was a great Star Wars Galaxy... Oh, I mentioned Galaxy Heroes, and she kills me.
Here's a man that didn't know how to hide his spending from his wife. Didn't learn through his life the benefits of gift cards and making sure that he also included one for his wife.
Yeah.
To a man that is honest to a fault, Mr. Pennypinch, we will remember thee. There you go.
Tim Timmons, question, how much offense is too much offense?
No such thing.
Yep.
When you start doing defense instead.
When you put it on Hermit Yoda.
Oh, use me, you will.
Helenix, question, is there a Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes player witness protection program for folks like Mr. Pennypinch and many of us whose significant others may be trying to kill us after this Chewie event? Hashtag I blame Finn.
Yeah, I think the answer to that is not Ranger or Finn's location. Please do not bring your wives after us. I'm going to be very put off. Sorry. Maybe we need to start that program.
For what it's worth, I'm noticing
Star Wars Galaxy Rehab.
Star Wars Witness Protection, Agent Finn.
So do you want me to give you how to fix that?
Okay, Grande, the love doctor, has come in to marriage counselor extraordinaire. The pool boy has arrived.
I'm going to tell you, I've been married for 20 years. Here's how this works. So the first thing you do, it's the 3 B's. We're going to start with the 3 B's. The first one is be quiet, right? Be quiet when they're talking to you, and whenever they're upset about it, be quiet. The second B is bring flowers. All right? Bring flowers, chocolate, candies. Bring something, right? Just for no reason. I don't care. It's not Valentine's Day. It's whatever. The third one is bathroom breaks. This is how you do Star Wars. It's the 3 B's. Be quiet, bring flowers, and take plenty of bathroom breaks.
You forgot.
Well, technically, that's 4 B's.
Well, no, the 4th B is be a big deal.
So now,
well, then that makes it 5 B's.
Oh,
let me tell you. So how do you get it to where you can pamper yourself? You have to be willing to pamper your spouse. I'm going to tell you that I pamper the crap out of my spouse because that lady gets anything and everything she wants whenever she wants. And then whenever I go to the grocery store and I buy $30 worth of gift cards and I smile at her and wink at her as I throw it into the cart with all the rest of the groceries, she just smiles back. But it's because she got the freaking manicure she wanted, and she got that nice purse she wanted, and we're living in this big old freaking house that she wanted. So please pamper the heck out of your spouse, and when you pamper the heck out of them, and then you do something for yourself, they don't get upset.
Grande, when you pamper your spouse, do you use Ranger J 1999 adult diapers?
That's right.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, I treat her like a queen because I love her. And then I treat her like a queen because she's awesome. And I treat her like a queen because she's the mother of my children. And I treat her like a queen just because, why the hell not? Life's too short not to.
Because
I think that needs to be our new slogan.
Right.
When you need to pamper your spouse, use Ranger J 1999 adult diapers.
Protect your balls
for spouse pampering.
Unless you have a very, very comfy couch.
I'm telling you.
He's not wrong.
I'm telling you. If you will do these things, then when you want to go spend 30 or 40, or you want to drop $100 on this game, you've sat there and you've said yes to that new freaking, I don't even know what the name of this designer purse is we have sitting in a closet that she got last week. Or she wants to go spend $85 on a manicure. Or she wants to go to Dillard's or to Macy's or to wherever the heck she wants, and she wants to buy 5 new dresses to make herself look pretty. Or whatever she wants to do, just say yes. And then whenever you want to do something, magically, it's yes. I don't know what to say.
Grande, you're making a lot of sense. You need to stop that.
Eric H. makes a good point, though, which is funny because this is exactly what we say about Grande. He says, my wife thinks I have colitis with the bathroom breaks I take. We've commented multiple times about how many Grandes Grande takes in a day, right?
Right.
We always count it down. You should be getting close to Grande number 3 today, right? Right now?
Yeah, I think I may be on Grande number 4. We're taking a big old Grande. We're going to take a big old Grande here pretty
Lord.
soon. Uh-oh. Here's the deal. You just if you treat everybody awesome, magically you get what you want in life. I don't know what this is. Even if you come in, say you're sorry, you be quiet, you just let it go, and then whenever you come back in, all of a sudden you want stuff, and they're like, yeah, okay. I mean, come on. I mean, I don't know why it takes some people
Science.
like 50 freaking years old to figure this out, but it's not that hard.
Well, even if you don't have money to do that stuff, right? You can do stuff like you're always there to get the kids, you're always cooking dinner, you're always doing that kind of stuff. I mean, it's kind of hard to be mad at you when you're busting your ass. That's the other part of it. Yeah. So here's the deal. If you if you can't spend money, then you need to wake up every morning and you need to decide that you're going to fill your spouse's bucket with 10 things, right? You're gonna right,
fulfill 10 asks. We're filling the bucket, 10 things. No, it doesn't matter what those 10 things are.
Okay.
But your spouse, this doesn't matter whether you're heterosexual, homosexual, whether you're a man, whether you're a woman. If
whether
they
you're
ask
an alien.
you to do, yes, if they ask you to do 10 things. Hey, honey, will you pick up the kids? Hey, honey, will you make dinner? Hey, honey, will you take a shower? Hey, honey, will you put the garbage out? Hey, honey, will you do this or do that or do the other thing? Say yes 10 times before you ask for something. So wait,
I've seen this movie before.
It's called Reddit.
Wake up in the morning. I don't know how I came up with this. All I know is
it's Reddit.
It was a movie with Jim Carrey.
No, it's the whole Reddit concept. You're not allowed to promote your own. Remember the 10-to-1 rule that they have for your posts?
The 10-to-1 rule.
It's basically the same thing, but real life.
I'm telling you, it's the 10-to-1 rule. Do 10 awesome things and then ask for something else. I promise you, no one will ever say no. This works in business too. I'm just telling you, this works in business. You have a customer that you want, you do 10 things for them, and then you're like, hey, I want to separate you from your money. I want you to give me $10,000 for me to do that. You know what they're going to say? They're going to say yes. Because you've said yes to them and bailed them out of, you filled the freaking bucket of your relationship with the other. It's the same thing with your kids. I mean, geez, go do 10 things for your kids and then ask them to clean up their clothes or put the dishes away or do something. You do this, magically they're like, okay.
All right, let's move on to the next question with the last B, Best Buy gift cards for laundering. Okay, next question.
Skate Trooper, question, what do you predict will be the top team in the meta with Chewbacca in a week or two when more folks have him geared and some favorites shake out?
It's a climbing team.
Yeah, it sucks on defense.
I mean, it's really a climb. I mean, here's the deal, right? So you're trying to get around fracture and you're trying to get around isolate, right? So how do you get around fracture and isolate? The best way that I know to get around fracture and isolate is Old Ben. Because you can fracture him and you can isolate him, and his taunt still works. So I think Old Ben's in there. So now you're down to what's the fifth?
Or you fracture yourself. So there's 2 teams I've seen a lot of, and it's CLS, Han, Chewie, R2, and then the 5th I've seen Kenobi, I've seen Old Ben, and I've seen Thrawn as your 5th, where you just fracture the other side and just go on with your business. So
I've seen that too. I've also so R2 makes the group sometimes. I think some people that have a really awesome Fulcrum Ahsoka Tano. I've seen that on the team. I've seen Ezra on the team. So it's going to be a combination of 4 or a combination of 3, and then the 5th one is going to be in and out all the time. It's the same thing you saw with JTR, right? You saw the same 3 or the same 4, and then the 5th kind of rotated around. I mean, we see that now with the Triumvirate meta. You see the Triumvirate plus 2. Which 2 do you see? Well, you might see Thrawn, you might see Nest, you might see Sith Trooper. Palpatine. You might see Palpatine on that team. But they kind of alternate around.
Chewy, Chewy, question: what is the best strategy / rotation to farm tunes and gear as a free to play?
Hard node only, and after hard node only, you're working on everything where you could get a 7-star for free, which means you're working all legendaries and all heroics. You're probably, the first team you're building, you're building a Phoenix team in order to get Thrawn and in order to get Empire, and then you're building a First Order team in order to get BB-8. And then you're building a Resistance team plus troopers in order to get JTR. And then you're flushing out the rest of your Rebel team in order to get CLS. And then you're flushing out a Bounty Hunter team to get Chewbacca. Then you're flushing out a Rebel team, a Rebel ships team to get Chimera. You're trying to get you're trying to do the bare minimum to get all the free stuff, right? That's how you work. Now, if you've gotten past all of that, if you're past all of that, you're still flushing out your roster with hard farm tunes, characters that only have 1 or 2 nodes, like Scion and Nihilith. You're getting these key characters that you need in these teams to make them work. What are you doing in ships? I got to tell you, you're not going for geos with ships. You're going First Order with ships. And the reason why is because you already farmed the First Order tunes up to get BB-8, so you might as well use their ships because their ships are pretty good. Now, if you've gotten past all of that and you're still free to play, and you're using all of your currencies to buy characters first, and you're not worried about Zetas and you're not worried about gear, you get it as you farm the characters, then do whatever the heck you want as free to play at that point. That's what we're letting everybody else do.
Science.
Fine, Mock. Question: I can't farm Bosk since I can't even unlock Tier 5 hard node. What fleets do I need to do to get that node from Tier 5 node E normal?
Bosk isn't on fleet nodes, is he?
No.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, Bosk is dark side hard nodes.
I'm assuming he means Enfys. You can clarify, but I'm assuming Enfys is.
Bosk is a hard node. Now, if you're talking about Enfys, that's but I don't know. I'm not sure what they mean there. Get back with us on that. But the fleet that you need for Enfys, I think you use the same thing, Grande. I use my arena team, but then the main reinforcement, the ship that was the all-star, the MVP, was Plo Koon. Because that ship came in. Absolutely.
That came in clutch for me.
Because it didn't matter what they were doing. Because once Plo Koon came in and I started putting protection and stuff, my other 4 ships were just destroying them. And then I went with my Chimera, and it was a done deal. Plo Koon is a very undervalued ship. He's ridiculous on the Galactic Republic fleet. But just in general, what he can do once you get him up it's pretty stellar. And he doesn't have to be, the ship doesn't have to be 7 stars to be effective with him. As long as your Plo Koon's like gear 8, gear 9, you can bring him in. He's going to add protection and health. He's going to be able to put a taunt on somebody, so you can really do a lot of things with that ship.
Mr. Pennypinch, question for Ranger and Finn from Mrs. Pennypinch. What's your guys' address? I'm going to hurt you too for not helping him last night so he wouldn't have to spend more money. Not just kidding. Mr. Pennypinch will die.
Well, glad to know she knows who the culprit is, because, yeah, I'm not giving my address out.
Please don't blame Finn. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, blame Finn. There you go.
Don't blame Finn.
Yeah, that's true. Blame Finn. Science. We have solved the mystery.
Damn it, Finn.
We have solved the mystery. Blame Finn. There's the answer to everything.
Damn it, you're going to get me killed by everyone's wives now.
Well, your existence caused you to be in that position, not us.
God damn it.
JLY9 question. I've heard a lot about different Traya-led arena teams. So what's the best 5? Traya, Cyan, Nihilus, and which 2 others? Nest, Sith Trooper, Palpatine, or Thrawn, and why? Thanks.
Well, they all have their uses. I mean...
The best one is with Nest. Nest and Sith Trooper gives you the best one because you get the taunt with Sith Trooper in order to try and prevent damage. Nest gives you the early turn meter reduction in days in order to prevent the opposing Nihilus to go. The only thing is, it depends on... I mean, really, if you can beat one Traya team, you can beat all the Traya teams.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
One doesn't have an advantage over the others.
They do it because people just have the tunes ready. I mean, you'll see a lot of variants, especially in territory.
Yeah, your most defensive team is with Sith Trooper, right? But there's no one Traya team that's better than the others. It really isn't, because any other, like Finn just said, any Traya team can beat another Traya team. It's just a matter of understanding how the mechanics work. So there's not one in there. What it comes down to is mods and speed. But even then, like, I don't mind if someone has an emphasis and she goes first with my team with Sith Trooper, because I know how to deal with that. So there is not a be all end all team. But the team you go with is, you have to stick with the concept of the team. If you're going to go Sith Triumphant, Thrawn, and Sith Trooper, more defensive, right, and you're just letting your Nihilus annihilate the hell out of everybody, then you have to understand how you're going to work that team and who needs to do what. If you're going to go more offensive and say you're going to throw in, instead of Sith Trooper, emphasis with Thrawn, well, then you have to be hitting hard and who to hit and who to burn down. So it's a concept, but it doesn't really matter, because any of the Traya teams can beat the other Traya teams. I don't care who they have. There's no one team that has an advantage over another kind of Traya team.
Shields Ghost question: how's everyone's territory wars going? My guild is losing right now, but we can pick it up if we get some heavy hitters in there.
Zylo, are you still there? I guess the baby had to do something. I can go look here in a second, Shields. I know we're both.
Yeah, I'm feeding them up. Sorry.
Okay. I know we were both. I don't know if they'd cleared us yet, but I know we were down to the last zone. I don't know how we're doing because I'm doing this. We are in the last zone. I don't know what it's going to come down to. So we were both of us were both in the last zone. But I can't give you any other update other than that, Shields, because I'm in the middle of doing this. It's on the screen, so I can go look. But
yeah, I'm checking right now for my guild at least.
We're facing a guild that I don't think is really that into territory wars, so we're winning, but
we're facing a guild that I think we've done a bunch of reviews on their guys' rosters. The 2 Twi'leks and 1 Cup.
Oh.
I think we did 1 last week. I don't know how many others we did, but yeah, we definitely did 1. I think earlier this week or last week.
And two or three of them came into the RSG Discord trying to find me, and we're beating them. We're about double their score, but it's been a good hard fought match. I like it. No one's gonna clear each other though. At least doesn't look like it.
We're winning by 1,300 points.
Oh, that's good.
Tim Bedard question: what is a good potency/speed balance for Palpatine for Arena? Mine is at 90% potency overall with 94 speed.
He needs to be faster.
Yeah, because he gets how are you running him though? If you're running him lead, then you get the extra potency, if I'm not mistaken. If not, then what is the rule of thumb on that, Grande Finn, for him? 100% if he's not lead, because if he ain't landing his shocks and his AoE stun, then kind of defeats the purpose. He can be fast as molasses, but typically anything over 200 speed for for Palpatine is good because even if he's the focus, there's other characters that the speed is more important. I always tend to focus on, as long as I think mine's like 215, 220 speed. I don't really use them in arena anymore, but I still keep him that for territory wars. And I think I've got his potency really high. He's got a ton of potency on him. So I care about
Palpatine?
Yeah, on Palpatine. I have a lot of speed and potency.
I would agree. Speed and potency, or speed and health.
I don't know. Well, yeah, health and protection, but I'm looking for those, that potency cross. Anything I can get my hands on.
The only reason why I don't do the potency cross is because I normally run him as leader. And so if I run Palpatine, so running Palpatine on the team or running Palpatine as lead, you're going to run different mod sets.
Yeah.
So if you run Palpatine as lead, Palpatine's got an additional 35% potency and additional 35% health. So running him as lead lets you drop the potency in and whatever you do, don't put crit chance on him. No. All of his freaking damage is special damage. So you're looking for offense, you're looking for health and protection. He's a little bit squishy, which is why if you've got the Zeta on him, put the protection on him. If you don't have the Zeta, then put the then put health on him, on the circle and potentially even on the cross. It depends on if you're trying to get survivability and you're trying to use him for control, or if you're trying to get damage out of him. If you're trying to do survivability and control, then you're going to do health and protection. If you're trying to actually turn him into an attacker, then you could put offense on him.
Yeah, and I've been using him more as an attacker. I've been using him as a lead.
Yeah, like with mine, I'm running him at 233 speed and 72% potency, and he lands, his stuns and shock almost all the time.
And that's the key.
And he's
Kazakagi, too easy. Question, should I finish gearing Dengar and Greedo for the next Chewie event? Dengar is only 4-star. I got Chewbacca to 6-star. Bosk is 6-star, gear 9.
Yeah, Dengar is an important factor in that event because when he gets hit and he stealths, he keeps the other team from stealthing. Without that, it makes it a lot harder because then R2 does his thing and you have to focus fire and burn R2 so you go after the other ones, and that could be really a pain in the ass. So Dengar is an important piece. At least have the ability done to where, one, he could survive, and two, he's got that ability to keep people from stealthing. That's a key component to that team. But yeah, you're on the right path on those.
26 Rogue. Question, is it worth it to gear Zombie past gear 10?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is now. Grumble, grumble, grumble.
McFly Z009. Question, why does nobody use Sith Trooper with Emperor Palpatine?
You can.
Because, he doesn't really go ahead, Graham.
He doesn't have that many debuffs. I mean, he can survive a lot, but you're looking for characters that do a lot of debuffs in order to trigger Emperor Palpatine's lead. I mean, he's not the optimal tank, and then once you look for like one tank and a bunch of dots, I mean, you're looking for probably Emperor Palpatine, Vader, Nihilus, Scion, right? So that's going to be your main 4, and then for your 5th, if Sith Trooper doesn't really do a lot of like dots or debuffs and stuff, then you're looking for someone with control. So typically you'll see Traya if they have it, but otherwise you'll see Thrawn, for example. You might see Enfys.
Another thing that I think people are kind of overlooking with EP leads is EP lead also affects Empire tunes too. So you can run some of the Empire tanks with an EP lead and they still work really well.
Widow X. Question, last year they had the Scav Ray Google Play Card deal during the holiday season. Do you think they'll have a similar deal this holiday season?
Yep. Bounty Hunters.
Yeah. Yes.
So you can get your Chewie in order to get your Jedi Luke. Calling it right now. Jedi Luke, Christmas.
Hey, maybe you guys will luck out and Apple won't be such cheapskates and give you guys a the iOS users
I
something.
don't really care. I have my iPhone account
Yep.
hooked up to an emulator that's
I have it.
Like
Android.
a
What the
gift
hell do I care?
card for 30 Clone Wars Chewbacca shards.
Yeah, I just have it linked up to my Android emulator. There's nothing that can happen now for Apple as long as you have an emulator that has Android. In fact, it's the other
Agreed.
way around because Apple doesn't have any kind of real emulator.
No
and so if there's ever an
emulator
iPhone
whatsoever.
exclusive, Android people are screwed.
Agreed.
Well, they'll come up with something. for
Actually, yes, there is.
There is some, but they're not that
No.
good, and they're not.
And there's
that-
there's not really an Apple emulator. It's really not.
Next question.
that. I blame Finn.
Phantom Knight 24. Question is Django lead with Bounty Hunters Arena viable at 3-star or 4-star?
For offense, yes. For defense, no.
Nope, you're gonna get crushed. I mean, people
Okay,
will look at
last-
that and be like, "Nope, give me."
Last question. Hellenix. Question for Finn. How much Chewy would a Chewy chuck if a Chewy chuck would chuck Chewy? LOL. I blame Finn. I don't know why. LOL.
That's science.
All right, so for him, I will give this particular response. Rolling down the street, smoking Indo, sipping on gin and juice, laid back with my mind on my Chewy and my Chewy on my mind. There you go.
Oh my God, Finn, you're a very bad man.
He posted it earlier, so I'm giving it back to him as a response.
No, you're wrong. You're just very, very, very wrong. You're a bad man. I don't even know how I don't even know if I want to end the stream on that. Let's just lose.
Please don't.
Bad taste in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not, you know. Why,
Embrace it.
Finn?
Embrace my thugness.
Embrace my ass.
Porg.
Pork.
Damn.
What?
Amazing.
Porg, mother.
Oh, God. Surprise, mother. All right, we're going to have to end it on that. If that's a bad taste in your mouth, just blame Finn. That's what he does. He doesn't care about you or anybody else, just porgs. All right. That's our show for today. Thank you guys for stopping by. Now, remember, a couple things. We do this Monday through Friday from 12 to 1 p.m. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up on the video. Helps us tremendously. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you haven't checked out our Patreon, check that out. If you haven't checked out our GoFundMe, remember, guys, in April next year, April 8th, 2019, a day that will live in infamy, the RSG crew will plan to run half a marathon to raise money for the American Cancer Society. So if you haven't checked out our GoFundMe, please do. And then remember, tonight is our big Wednesday night show. And it's the longest running live stream show in the community. So make sure you check that out tonight. We have fun stuff that we do as well. We have the game night that we had yesterday with Zabiff and everybody. I'll get some more Battlefront 2. I'm trying to get to see what else they're going to do with Battlefront, and I'm going to start hitting it hard. Especially the new villains, hopefully, and heroes coming out soon. I keep saying that, but I'm still holding my... I'm not holding my breath, brah. We got the Jedi Academies on Saturdays. We do D&Ds on Sundays. We got all kinds of stuff. So make sure you're subscribed so you can know when we're doing that. So on behalf of myself and the RSG crew and our special guest who we did his roster review, thank you everybody for stopping by. We really appreciate all your support. It really does mean a lot to us. So make sure you check us out tonight. Spread the word about our live stream tonight. We're covering all the latest and greatest news in the Star Wars Galaxy Heroes universe and give you a little bit of insight on what it all means. So everyone take care. Have a great rest of your day. And we will holler at you later. Peace.